Assalamu alaikum, family. Shalom, shalom, Hotep, Islam, Alafia. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Happy Monday, happy Monday. Happy Monday. We are back. We are back. Man, I know we took a short hiatus, but we back. We back with another banger. We are back with another banger. We got the good bro coming in, special guest. He's going to be talking about business, mobile investing, mobile house investing, family business, investing, entrepreneurship. I mean, that's what we're about. So definitely tap in, tap in. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I definitely tap in. All right, we got the good brother Brian S. Sellers coming through, coming through. All right, let me just write this real quick. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this live, family. Share this live. Make sure you share this live. We're going to be talking about business. We're going to be talking about family business, actually, investing, mobile house investing. We're going to be talking about finance. Um, man, every and anything. Definitely tap in. All right, tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this live. Make sure you share this live. We're going to wait for a few more people. How y'all Monday going? How y'all Monday going? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Drop a book emoji if you can hear me. Drop a book emoji if you can hear me. Let me know if my audio is good. Drop a book emoji if you can hear me. Welcome to episode 46, family. Welcome to episode 46. I appreciate you, beloved. Thank you for buying a badge. Give thanks, give thanks. Appreciate that. All right, family, where y'all from? Tap in with me. Where y'all from? Where y'all from? Wow, France. All right, shout out to France. Shout out to France. We got the message of the black man. Link in the bio. Tap in. Click the link in the bio. We got all the books that you're looking for. We got all the books that you're looking for. All right, definitely. Oh, and we just coming back off of Invest Fest. Man, if you wasn't at Invest Fest, you definitely want to tap in next year. Invest Fest was definitely a vibe. I'm not going to front. Invest Fest was definitely a vibe in the ATL. If you wasn't there, you want to make sure and be there next year. Next year. I think I seen a good brother. Brother, if you're on, brother, just request me. Request me to go live. Brother Byron, request me to go live if you on and tapped in already. Request me to go live, beloved. If you're already on. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go.
What's
Peace,
up?
good brother.
How you feeling,
Peace.
King? How you feeling?
Man, I'm good. A bit tired, but man, I gotta do this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't wanna I don't wanna postpone it any longer.
For sure, man. I appreciate your patience.
Yes, sir. How you been?
Oh man, I'm blessed, man. Counting down any day to my baby girl arrives, on the earth.
Right,
So man, I'm super excited.
right. That's what's up. This is number two, three for you.
Number
Number
one, the
one.
first
Okay,
one.
okay. I don't
Yes.
know why I thought you already had children. Okay,
Yep, number one.
that's what's up. That's what's up. So we're gonna get into it, family. All right. Peace, family. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom, shalom. Hotep, Islam, Alafia. What's going on, family? What's going on? This is episode number 46. Episode number 46. Happy Monday. We got the good brother Byron S. Sellers here. He's a mobile home investor. He's an educator. He's a mogul, amongst other things. So please, family, help me welcome brother Byron S. Sellers. Peace,
Thank
peace,
y'all.
beloved, peace. I don't got no sound effects yet, but it's coming, it's coming. All right, so let's get into it. So tell the people a little bit about your upbringing. What was that like?
Man, so I was blessed to come from a two-parent household. Father worked for the city bus company. My mother had for almost 8 years stay-at-home mom with me, man. And I come from a different background. My parents were both Jehovah's Witnesses, so I grew up in that
Okay.
background. On that, so I tell people at a young age, I was going door to door talking to people, that I didn't know, and just telling people to read the Bible. So I think that that upbringing helped mold me. It put me in a more safe environment. It kind of shielded me from the streets and the environment that I was around. But again, just the household that I came from was a strong work ethic. I started working at the age of 10. My first job being a paper route. I sweep hair at barbershops. My parents had a janitorial job to kind of make some extra money, and my dad got injured when I was 12. So I was basically a janitor when I was from 12 to 15 years old. So I instilled that work ethic in me, at a young age, and it just kind of, brought out that hustle in me. And I think that my dad kind of taught me how to be the man of the house at a very young age.
Wow. Wow, I love that. I love that because most people, and I mean, like, I'm not just saying it, but statistically speaking, we still live in a single parent household. So I know you touched on it a little bit, but if you can go a little bit more in depth, what was that like? And I know you just said that your father taught you how to be a man. And again, most young boys don't have that father figure,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm a teacher myself.
Yeah.
And I see it inside the classroom, right? I see the way how they behave, and I see how they yearn for that male attention.
Yeah.
So if you can delve a little bit into that, what was that experience like growing up with the father inside the household, and how did it mold you specifically into being a man?
Yeah, for sure, man. But that was my first Superman. To see this, this strong black man that took care of his family. When my father, when he put it when it was word, it was word. It wasn't no. I never in my life went back and forth with my father, right? Because again, not only that authoritative figure, but it was just like, yeah, you already know, like it's no overruling, pops.
Right.
But one thing that he showed me too is how to treat my mom, right? My dad would come home with roses. My dad always opened my mom's door. He would make sure he was always telling me, like, man, make sure you open the door for any woman. Make sure you open the door for your mother. My one thing my father always did was he always put my mother on that pedestal to say, hey, listen, you got one mother, so we gonna make sure we treat this woman right because she's in the house of two men. And so, that example, man, I mean, my father, like I said, growing up in Jehovah's Witness, he was a speaker. So seeing my father speak and seeing the power my dad had and being able to lead others, it really molded me. I tell people I'm my father 2.0, and it molded me to kind of give me a larger, platform, but it also molded me. Like I said, my dad taught me how to tie a tie when I was 7. Of
Okay.
course, any sport. My dad taught me how to shoot a basketball, throw a football. Those traditional things that you hear that fathers
He was a
do. But on the other
real
side,
family man.
real family man. But on the other side of things, emotionally, right? My dad would tell me he loved me because his dad wasn't there. My dad would tell me, things where, hey, listen, and as much as people are gonna tell you don't cry, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. It's okay to tap into that
Right.
emotion because you're still human. And so, man, again, like I said, he was Superman, man, to be able to see and not understanding as a young man because when you come into you a teenager now you think I'm a man, but when I look back at everything that he did for me, man, he laid out the perfect blueprint.
Man, I love that. I love that. And I have no doubt that you will be just as much of a father or even better
Thank you,
to your
thank you,
seed who is
thank
about to
you.
come into existence, right? Because that's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to go
Mhm.
further
Yeah,
than what our father gave us, right? The tools, the advice, the suggestions, and all that. We're supposed to take that and push forward with it. Not just be as good, but be better, right? And it's okay to be better than your father. It's okay to be
yeah,
better than the one who helped mold you
mhm,
and cultivate you into the man that you are today.
yeah,
So I love that how he taught you how to treat a
mhm,
woman. He taught you, you know what I'm saying, how to tie a tie. I learned how
mhm,
to tie a tie by a club and organization
mhm,
that I was in college, you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
So although I had a father growing up, he wasn't really there. It's like he was there, but
mhm,
he wasn't there.
yeah,
You know, so
yeah,
you were really put in a peculiar situation of having a father growing up inside the household. So I love that. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So tell me, man. So we met at InvestFest, right? Tell me, how was that like? I believe it was your first time on the stage, and what was that experience like?
Man, it was amazing. You know, I think shout out, Troy and Rashad, the whole EYL team
Yeah,
for even, having me there. And honestly, man, I missed the first two. The first year I had COVID, the second year we were out the country. So this year to be my first year experience and even speak,
right.
man, it was something like, again, it was surreal. Like I still get chills when I think about the experience, right? I mean, again, as you talked about, anybody who missed InvestFest, you definitely want to go to the next InvestFest.
Indeed.
But one thing, it was funny because we went on at 3:05, and originally Diddy was supposed to go on at noon, but Diddy ended up being late.
Right.
So we ended up speaking the same time Diddy came. And the funny thing, when we first walked in our room, it was probably less than 100 people. So it was kind of like, dang, this big old room. But we started noticing, man, more people. So I think if I had to guess, man, we at least had over 1,000 plus people in that room.
Okay.
And so that was just amazing, man. To see people, to see the engagement. When we on stage, the energy was crazy. The whole panel, man, it was just love, and it was sponsored by Zillow. So even afterwards, we ended up doing interviews with Zillow, building some great connections. Man, it was amazing, though, man. Like I said, it was just a blessing.
So what's one, two things that you learned from being at InvestFest?
Yeah, man. So you know what? I think that what I love, the first thing I would say what I learned was, that's a good question. Let me see. The first thing I would say I learned definitely is, I looked at, honestly, at the overall scope of the event, right? To think about 20,000 people, and it was love, right? I know you had your booth,
Yeah.
and it was it was dope, but it was just love. And so my biggest takeaway from that was curating how they curated that vibe to, again, to be able to, not only manage this many people, but the experiences that they had. And so that's one thing I learned, I think, is to, if you're going to give a consumer, you're going to give a customer, a client, you want to get them an experience, you want to make sure, like, everybody was like, man, we was excited.
Right.
And all the experiences, not only the photo ops, but all of the things, the vendors, like that right there, to me was, it helped me to look at a larger scale and see what's possible, right? That was that was my biggest takeaway.
And you was behind the scenes as well.
Oh, man.
You was behind the scenes with
it. Yeah, man. So to look, like I said, to be sitting down and I look, oh, that's Diddy right there. Oh man, like that's Steve Hart. Like to see that and to see how they roll, to see how their power was, where it's like, yo, everybody, we got clear out. Right, you see the security, you see the star power that they had. You realize, like, yo, it's really levels to this, right? The energy that they, as stars that they provide, and so that was legendary. And then let's say the second thing that my biggest takeaway. You know what? I got a lot of parental advice. Like it was like as I talked to so many people, and I would tell them, that's my joy. Like, man, listen, I got a baby girl on the way. It was so many people, like, man, sat me down and just like, hey, listen. This is some things, I give you some tips as being a new father, try this. So it was like, even though it was a lot of information for me, myself, and what I'm going through in my life, my biggest takeaway again was seeing seeing how InvestFest was ran and seeing what's possible, and then getting just the love and the parental advice from other parents.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And again, man, that's just the what the whole ambiance comes with, right? Just being able to network. You said earlier that you was a Jehovah's Witness, going from door to door speaking to people, and now you're here at one of the biggest stages, to date. Again, speaking to people, networking, and giving your advice and giving your experience to people who needs it, right? So I think, that's key, just being able to go from point A to point B and just elevating at the same time. And then not only you giving instructions or advice to people giving suggestions and their experience to you, as you said, their parental advice to you as well. So I think it was a whole 360 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding for me as well. That we can take in and hold as our experience. So all right, so why did you become an entrepreneur to begin with?
Yeah, man. So, honestly, while working, I went to college. I did the college thing. I played college basketball. out of college, I went and got a job, a corporate job. And, you know, I thought that was like, man, I made it. But then I remember within my first year, I was living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
And I remember even trying to go to my manager and ask for a raise. And I remember they gave me a $2,000 raise, and that was for the year. And I'm just like, you know, like this is it. It has to be more, right? And it's like when I look at it, you know, of course you see your athletes, your actors, but then I'm still looking like, man, I'm driving through neighborhoods sometimes like I wonder what they do, because I know everybody over here is not, you know what I'm saying? They can't be just entertainers and things like that. So I got really curious, and the biggest thing, when my research Googling, it was just like entrepreneurs. And, you know, for me, I'm just like, yo, I want to be my own boss, right? I got tired of, you know, it was not yelled at, but I got tired of them getting on me because I step into the office 2-3 minutes late,
Okay.
right? I only got 2 weeks vacation, right? Including my sick days. It was just a lot of, for me, it was just like, I wanted that freedom, right? And I didn't know how to do it, but and I was scared, right? Anybody that's on here that you always scared of the stability. Like, okay, I don't want to necessarily downgrade my lifestyle. And so, you know, I've been fired from like 3-4 jobs. And my last one, 2017, I'm like, nope, not again. Like, this is my opportunity. I've been prepping myself for this journey. I understand that every entrepreneur, the same story is they had to go through the fire to get to where they had to go. So one thing, unlike a lot of people, I prayed for God to show me the worst. I'm like, yo, show me everything that can go wrong in this time and let me know if I'm strong enough for this. And he did. And the worst was my credit went bad. I was broke. You know what I'm saying? I had to go, my car got repoed. I had to go get food at the 8. I had to get a link card so I can get food. Like, those are my worst. But I'm just like, yo, I'm alive. Like, this ain't killing me. And when I got through that, it was just like, by the time I discovered mobile homes, it was like, oh yeah, it's nothing that's gonna get in my way, because everything I thought that was the worst happened, and I did not die. And that was, for me, it was just like, yo, it prepped me to be like, yo, like, let's go. We're going 100 miles an hour.
Right. So take us back a bit, because I mean, you was at your lowest, right? Again, just like not knowing basically where your next meal was going to come in at, so on and so forth. At that point, did you ever say like, damn, I got to find another job? Like, or was it like, so what pushed you into just keep going and keep going?
Yeah. So honestly, man, you know, tapping into a lot of Eric Thomas, you know, Tony Robbins, Les Browns, you know, I'm hearing other successful entrepreneurs. And at that time, it was a few Black entrepreneurs, you know, it was one that stood out to me. It was called it was Black Millionaires. And I would hear all the stories of different, and everybody talked about what it was like. They had to go through something hard to get. And so for me, I decided, like, it's a non-negotiable. Like, I'm not getting another job. And it's like, I don't care how long this takes. I'm going to make it happen. I don't care if I got to sleep in my car. I don't care if I got to sleep outside. I don't care. Like, this is going to my plan A, right? I don't have a plan B. My plan A is going to work. And so, man, it was precious, right? My mother, I ain't gonna lie, like, my mother and father thought I was crazy, right? They like, yo, how do you got a job? I mean, how do you got a degree and you just left making this much money and you doing this to yourself? Like family and friends was concerned. They thought I was crazy because they'd never seen anybody go through what I went through because of what my dreams was. So again, it was every day, man. I stayed, like I said, listen to the positive, listen to the motivation, listen to the people. It made me stay positive because I knew every day that my momentum and my action would end up creating something that's, you know, that was bigger, and it did. And again, when I look back at everything, worked because of my momentum.
And so, because of your momentum and just being positive, what have you learned through that process of you not giving up? What have you learned from that?
So what I learned was, the day that I stop that momentum, it can put me it can move me back versus forward. Okay. So even every day that, you know, again, it's something, and the biggest thing I learned was, it's not going to come when I think it's going to come, right? Like, again, like, I don't want to call it success, but like when we first got the first checks and things like that from the mobile homes, when we first started, like, it came in the days when we least expected it. And that's when it was just like, this was my hard work paying off, because I didn't necessarily, even though I knew the end goal, I was doing what I did. We fell in love with the process. And the process is what ended up birthing, you know, again, the success.
I feel that. So You keep saying we. So was you in a relationship at the time?
Yeah.
And if so, what was that like? Like, did your girlfriend, I think at the time, because now you're married, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so your girlfriend at the time, was she on your back? Was she like, did she stop believing in you? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, man. And so, man, shout out my wife, man. She was down with me from day one. She said the
Wow.
first time we had a conversation, she knew that I was different, and she was like, "Yo, I know." She's like, "I knew you were going to be something, somebody." I couldn't pinpoint it because she said when I came, I talked when I first met her. I talked about the dreams of speaking and how I want to help people and how I want to coach people, and so I've been talking about these things, and so for her, it was just like, how can I support you? And so for us, we had a small break. We had a few months. We had a break because when I first got fired, for myself, it was like I got to figure this out, right? And it was just like, I could date right now, but I just got to figure me out. Like I got to make sure I'm good. So we kind of, we kind of, but it was when we reconnected. That by that time she thought I was doing good. Like, man, entrepreneurship must be treating you good. You ain't got no
Right.
job. And I'm like, nah, I just got my car repo.
Mm.
I'm out here bogus, but I'm gonna keep on going. And she was just like, yo, like you got your car repo, like don't you need your car? Like, cause I was driving Lyft at the time just to pay bills. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna figure this out. And she's like, Byron, listen, like I know, she's like, it may be a lot, but would you allow me to help you, with your problem? And I'm just like, my ego was like, no,
Yeah.
because I don't want
Right.
to owe you nothing like
Right.
that. And she's just like, no, I got you. Like, don't even. She's like, I know you'll pay me back tenfold. Don't worry about it. And she gave me the money to get my car at the repo, and it was just like that love. I was like, man, she
Wow.
really down for me, man. Like, if anybody willing to do this, this is the person I need in
Yeah.
my corner. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, and she was already a great person, but it was just like, being a man, I'm thinking, again, I don't want to settle down, all these things.
Right.
And man, by that time, man, it was just like, she kind of, we just locked in, and we discovered mobile home investing like by accident. I've heard a podcast and sent it to her. And when I saw that she was excited, because at first, she thought about entrepreneurship, but it was kind of like, hey, I'm figuring it out. You know what I mean? I'm going to figure it out. And when we saw something we could do together, that was a game changer. For me, it was like, yo, I got a partner. And then for her, it was kind of like, okay, I've been seeing you struggle. I've been seeing you do a lot of stuff. So I know you're a little risk taker. Cool, we made up the perfect match. And man, it was just like from there, we just, before we even got married, we were dating. We just went full steam ahead. And I think that not only it strengthened our relationship, right, but we were able to be together like 24/7, right? We did business together, and then from there was building our relationship. And it just, we had our ups and downs, man, but we stuck through them, and from here, again, it's been magic ever since.
Man, I love that story. I love that story because, man, you really don't hear that too often nowadays, right? You really don't hear that woman being like your actual day ones with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Through the thick and thin. And actually, as the Bible says, being a helpmeet,
Mm-hmm.
right? Meeting the man's vision and helping him to accomplish his goals and his vision.
Yeah.
You really don't get that. We have this, trending thing. I'm an independent woman. I could do battle by myself, this, that, and the other. But instead, she put all that to the side and she wanted to help you personally achieve your goals and get you out of the condition that you was currently in.
Yeah.
Again, so salute to your wife as well, because again,
Yeah.
you really don't hear that or see that too often in today's time.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's so true.
Word. So speaking of mobile home investing, let's get into that. What is mobile home investing?
Yeah. So mobile home investing is when you all see like those like trailers, right? Single wides, double wides. When you hear about a trailer park, and what we're able to do. So most people look at them as trailer trash. They see them as, oh, that's just a bogus trailer. For us, we see that's an affordable house. So what that is man, us buying these assets very below value and adding some value into it, whether it's, we put some renovations into it, and then now we're able to command either market rents, or we're able to still provide affordability, right? So, again, man, it's one of those, it's a hidden gem because return on investments are like crazy on these because most people overlook this type of real estate. And, again, we just helping, solve the affordable housing crisis.
Awesome. So take us through the process. How can one find one? And just like you said, it's like a trailer park, like somewhere out in the bushes, in the country or whatever. And it takes us through a process. Would you need a realtor to, get that property, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, so no, not at all, man. That's what I love about mobile home investing is the fact that you don't necessarily need realtors. You don't need, that kind of stuff. So for one, what I tell people is the biggest thing is, listen, we want to go on Facebook Marketplace. That's one of the hidden gems that I tell people about. Facebook Marketplace. You type in mobile homes. Now you're gonna start seeing all these mobile homes in your area. You can make your radius as far as you want to, 30 miles up to 100 miles, right? And so now that's where most people list their mobile homes, right? On like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, right? Because again, you can see some on like Zillow and things, but again, we talk about affordable housing.
Right.
And so normally most mobile home parks are, like you said, rural. A lot of them are rural, but there are some that are close to city side. But again, if you go on Google Maps and then you type in mobile home parks, you'll get to see what's all the parks near you. Now, either A, you can go drive through those parks and kind of see any for sale signs, or like I said, people you can find direct, off-market deals right on Facebook Marketplace by typing in mobile homes for sale, right? And so now again, contacting those people, you set up an appointment to go see them, right? And then from there, you pick your strategy. I tell people if you don't have money, you can wholesale, right? Meaning that again, you playing the middleman without even putting your own money up. So now what you're able to do is you're able to go to somebody and say, listen, how are you selling your house? They'll tell you how you're selling your house. Well, listen, I can potentially get you buyers. How about we get an agreement? Let me market your house for 30 days, and then I'll help you sell your house. That way, if let's say they're selling a mobile home, for example, for 15,000. Now you get them under contract for 15,000, but you go out and market that contract for 18,000, 20,000. Now you can make the difference.
Right.
Or you can say, hey, you know what? Okay, you want 15? How about I'll give you 12 for it, and then you turn around and you do a fix and flip. So you get 12 for it, right? You pay 12 for it. You may go put another 5,000 into it. You all in 17,000, but now you can go put it on the market for 30, 35,000, right? Or you get rentals, right? You can say, you know what, you want 12,000? Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and get 12,000. I mean, I'll give you 12,000. Let's say the market rent is, $1,200 or I'm saying $1,300 for like a 2-3 bedroom. Now what you can do is if it's in a mobile home community, they have something called lot rent, right? Which is like a monthly HOA that what you pay for the land. So in that case, let's say the HOA is $400, but then we see market rent is, let's say you put it at for $1,000, then you can go command $600 a month cash flow for that property. So again, it's so many ways. I like to tell people, mobile homes is basically kind of like that untapped part of real estate that a lot of people don't think about, but it's still a lot of potential for people to get started with very low cost. You don't need the best credit. You don't need the most capital. You can get started investing in mobile homes today.
Dope, family. Make sure y'all taking notes. I'm telling you, make sure you have a pen and a piece of paper to take notes. This is another way to make money. Man, we have so much ways to make money. Mobile homes is one of them. Definitely tap in. And also, if you have any questions, you can put them in the question box, and I'll be sure to ask Brother Byron a couple of questions coming up at the latter end of this interview. All right, so brother, so was wholesaling the way that you got into mobile homes? Because you really didn't have any money at the beginning. So did you wholesale at first? And if so, what was that first check like? What was that feeling like?
Yeah, man. So I wish I knew the wholesaling strategy when we started, but we didn't. So since I was driving Lyft, I was able to get a high interest loan from Lending Club. So we borrowed $10,000, but it was a 24% interest rate.
Wow.
So we borrowed $10,000, and what we did was we was able to find 2 mobile homes that we bought for $4,300. One was like 500, other one was 4,300, man. Yeah. And so we bought those 2 mobile homes, and then one of them we put an extra like 3,700 into it, and literally in 45 days we sold one of those mobile homes for 9,500, and then we sold the other one for $10,000.
Wow.
So we made we turned, it was right around under 7,000. We turned that to 19,500, and that was our first 2 biggest checks. That first check was that 9,500, and it was just like, yo, we still got another property, right, that we have, and we turned around and sold that a few days later, and that's when we knew we own. And it was so many at that time. I used to see mobile homes on the Facebook Marketplace for like $2,000, $3,000, $1,000. Like nowadays, it's tough to still. You can find them, but it's not as sweet no more. We didn't open the market up. You know what I'm saying, for so many
Okay.
people.
So
But
it's kind of harder to find mobile homes now.
no. So here's the thing. I tell people when they hear me talk, and we for example, our first episode on EYL, we talked about buying homes for $5,000, and that was right in 2020. So a lot of people was like, man, all they heard was 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. But here's the reality: if you're in LA, you're not gonna find a $5,000 mobile home, right? You in Miami, you're not gonna find a $5,000 mobile home. Now, in Gary, Indiana, I can do that, depending on what market
Louisiana.
I'm in. Yeah, Louisiana, some parts of Texas, we can still find those. But what happens is I tell people don't get discouraged because the average house in America is right at $375,000 or more. But the average used mobile home in America is less than $40,000. So when you look at the comparison and people needing affordability, right, you're still able to get these low cost assets less than 40K, right, and then turn around and command big profits.
Right. So how many properties you have now?
So right now we're right at we have 272 units. We have we have a group where we have 5 mobile home communities. We have 4 in PA, and then we have 1 in Nitro, West Virginia.
Wow, that's crazy. So, are you gonna like stick with mobile homes, or are you gonna like branch out and buy, multi-family units, possibly buildings and so forth?
Yeah, so right now, I think honestly, in my next 5-year plan, I'm sticking strictly with manufactured homes. I've been able to, find, 5 different streams of income within the manufactured home sector. And I tell people I'm kind of like in a big blue ocean. There's people that do this, but it's one of I tell most people, like, again, if you're in the comments, I want you to put the number. How many mobile home investors do you personally know? Like, them, that you can call them. Put that number in the comments. But I tell people, the reason why I say that is because, it's not really a lot of competition, and it's still so much opportunity. And so for me, I'm concentrating on strictly just on mobile home parks. It's commercial real estate. And that's how I get more units at a cheaper cost. And then at the end of the day, I want to be able to provide community and good community spaces versus what they may be used to with the old owners, provided for them.
I love that. How important is financial literacy to you?
Oh man, like that. I've said this: the younger you are and you understand financial literacy, the much further you will go in life, right? I mean, everything is commerce. Right? Everything is it's an exchange, right? For food, for water, we have to pay for that, and somebody is losing their money, and somebody is gaining that dollar, right? And so when you understand understand the definition of value, right? Of what value is and how you can place value on things to receive more income. When you understand the flow of money, right? When you understand that how money flows and currency works, when you understand those different things, especially when you talk about like financial literacy, it is a different language. Like money has its own language.
Right.
And when you understand those things that may seem so far away, things that may seem too expensive, you won't talk like that. That's too expensive for things, right? You'll understand the currency or how to generate that. And I think that, it's very, very important, because to me nowadays, especially in this, 2023, it's almost part of survival, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
you have to learn how to adapt and not only, leverage technology and things, but you got to learn how to adapt. So then that way, the ways that we have, especially again, as Black people in this country, man, a lot of I've been guilty of being an extreme consumer to look like I got money, right? Not understanding that, again, like you said, financial literacy, I didn't have that much financial literacy. So now my clothes or the things I'm driving and things is to show me, right? want you to see me and think that I have more than what I have.
Exactly.
And understanding now that's like, no, that's not like that. Honestly, you want to get to the point where you don't want people to know what you
exactly
have
how much you have. Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's how you know you got money. Like, nah, you're just modest, right? Everything is, I mean, you might have a nice car, a nice house, but that's about it, right? Your clothes and your shoes, your belt or whatever, that's like, it's just modest, right? You want to be as modest as possible, because then you will attract people that have a negative mindset. You will attract people who are on a lower frequency level than you. And those people you want to try to stay far away from, right?
Man, that's 100%.
So are you invested in any like stocks? Or are you, you partake in the stock market a little bit?
So I did when I kind of early on. I invested in a few social media. Social media. I did some crypto investing as well. Just did and dab, not too major. I'm actually there's a few actually in the mobile home space. There are a few ELS Equity Lifestyle and then Sun Communities. They actually have some pretty good. And Sun, I think their ticker is SUN. But they actually got some pretty good stocks that's been in the last 10 years is bringing back about 40% returns.
Wow.
So, again, still in my space, they've been doing great things. So I'm most likely going to move some money over there as well.
Cool. But I mean, the main thing is that you staying in your lane and you ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, go out your lane. I feel
Nah,
that.
man.
I feel that. So, let's switch gears a bit. So I seen that you posted a video of Shannon Sharp saying that he hasn't been married and he's about to be 55 years young. And he explains why he never been married.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that, with his statements? Or would you have, if you was in his position, would you have gotten married if you was Shannon Sharp?
Yeah, no, I definitely understand his stance, right? I think that from where he is in his career and things, I think that that's one thing I said I was blessed to have a woman that was able to build with me. So it didn't really, again, it was a little bit different because it was more so ours, right? It was our money. It wasn't like, so as a man, when we built it, it's easier for me to be like, you know what, I'll provide now, right? But in his case, and again, as some men, again, when you are successful and you understand, unfortunately, he probably comes across women that, eventually when they're in his life that want to take and spend his money the way that how they want to spend their money, right? And he probably has some good people that was in love with who he was, but at the same time, one thing he said was what happens is when I understand as a man, when a man you are determined, when you have tunnel vision
Yeah.
and you are so focused on a goal, if a woman even seems like a distraction, you're just not going to commit because it's like, how can this help me? So I think in the sport of football for him, it was like, how can a woman necessarily help me in this sport? I'm just laser focused on this sport. So I think, like I said, for his perspective, but I would say I will play devil's advocate to, and I don't want to call it the average Joe, but again, if I'm here and I work at Home Depot and I'm just like on some like I'm bringing $50,000 and then here's a woman that brings in $50,000. Now guess what? I have a pool that now, okay, cool, we can come become a $100,000 household. I can't say like like, man, you know what? I'm so focused, I'm in love with Home Depot that I'm so tunnel vision, I'm grinding when I don't realize that I got somebody that this she may be a teacher, she may be somewhere at me. No matter what it is, we can kind of gain. So I think in the successful man realm, I feel it. But again, if I'm kind of like you said, the average Joe, nah, get you a wife, get you a partner, that's somebody you can build with, that y'all can again, make your household have more income.
Exactly, man. I think that's the goal, right, in life, for you to get married and multiply, right? And I mean, obviously, he has children or so forth, but he even said that he think that he would have been a good father, a good brother, a good husband, even a good boyfriend at that, because he was just so focused. And I think. I don't know if he regretted it, but I think if he had a chance to do something different, he would have done something different.
I agree.
Because now he's saying he have all of this, and who can he share it with, right? So again, just off of that statement alone, life is to be shared with.
Yeah.
Life is a duality, it's man and woman. And if you going within your life for a majority of the time single or just messing around, then half of your life has been wasted, right? Because again, you're supposed to share it with somebody. You're supposed to love it with someone. You're supposed to share all the accolades and accomplishments and money with that person, be it man or woman. So if not, then what's the point? What's the point?
Very true.
Great. So, brother, tell us, man, before we depart, what's next for yourself and mobile home investing?
Yeah, man. So, Honestly, for us right now, we are, we listening to, for one, in the educational space, man, we want to keep helping people get into this space as much as we can. So continue to bring them value content, YouTube on the page, all our socials. That's the biggest thing for us, right? How can we continue adding value for, and even our own community. And then the next thing, honestly, so, we're moving to Florida. We're in Chicago now, but we're moving down to Florida. And so, it's just the expansion of continue to grow the portfolio, more mobile home parks. And what that does is the more mobile home parks we get, the more opportunity we're able to provide for our community to come in and get their first investment properties within our communities. That allows us to, kind of really set the standard for how we want our community. Because the biggest thing for us is, as we grow, like I said, as I continue to gain more mobile home parks, for me, I want to help mobile home parks get out those stigmas that when we think trailer trash, we think it's poor, we hear, it's racist. Like, I want to help change that narrative. And also at the end of the day, my ultimate goal, and this is within my next 10 years, is to be able to provide a safe haven for Black Americans in America. Because unfortunately, we seeing job loss is huge, right? We seeing, unfortunately, rent prices are going up. And I think that manufactured homes is a great answer for our people to be able to have affordable housing, to have home ownership, and at the same time get their life on a track. And how you talked about financial literacy, and be able to provide those resources within my community, so then that way they can master that and then help the next, help the next brother and sister after that.
Right. Indeed. Family, if you have any questions, please tap in. Send your question in the question box below. If you have any questions for Brother Byron as we depart. Man, that was great. I did have one more question for you. Did you happen to read any books to help you get into the position that you're in? I know back then you said that you listened to a lot of Eric Thomas and a lot of motivational speakers. Did you by any chance happen to stumble upon any books?
Yes, man. So, my first book the first book I had was a book called Six Figures in 6 Months by Peter Vogt. And that was the first thing that opened up my mind to be like, wow, like, you people can make 6 figures in 6 months, and just kind of really learning the concepts. And a lot of it was mindsets. Then I tapped into Rich Dad Poor Dad, which kind of gave me the whole, what I'm saying, as far as the quadrants and everything like that. That really helped me. And then, honestly, one of my most influential books came later in my life. It was called the Go Giver. And the Go Giver really, I love that book because it kind of talked about, as being a leader, but just, giving forward, right? Being that person that, if they come into something that I have and they see me working as well, nobody be able to realize, like, wow, wait, he's the owner of this, right? And just being able to just really give, not only my team, give my community, but give them enough that where it's like, they see that, hey, I'm in the trenches with them. Like, I'm building right alongside of you all. So, and I think that goes a long way, because it helped me by giving so much, the relationships that I have, like, I'm blessed to have the contacts that I have on my phone. I'm blessed to have the people that, that reach out to me, or that I reach out and give game to. And I think that it just goes a long way. If I need a favor, which I really ask for, but if I need a favor, I know a lot of people are going to hold me down.
Awesome. Someone asked, what was the last book that you mentioned?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think somebody put it. Six Figures to 6 Months by Peter Vogt. And then The Go Giver. The Go Giver is by, oh, man, what's this? Because he got a few books. The Go Giver, he got The Go Giver Leader, you get The Go Giver Sales. Man, what is my man's name? It's going to come back to me, man. I have to send you to a DM with the name.
Definitely. All right, family. So if you now tapping in, we're going to put up the whole video on our YouTube. So make sure you follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, DTR 360 Books. Tap into the website. You can get all your financial literacy books there, DTR360books.com. If you spend over $100, free shipping. And we created a platform as well for you for educational literacy as well, because our thing is that reading is very, very, very important. Not just reading, but comprehension as well, right? Your comprehension skills needs to be up to par if you want to go into mobile investing. If you just want to invest in the stock market, you need to understand what's going on. And a part of that understanding is reading and comprehensional skills. So definitely tap into the books that we have on DTR360books.com to help you get to that place. Brother, any last words before we depart?
Man, listen, y'all. I mean, for one, I appreciate you for having me on, man. Definitely a privilege, and make sure you all continue to, subscribe, like I said, and to definitely read books. But the last thing I'm gonna tell you all is, listen, y'all. Like wherever you are in your life, one thing I'm gonna tell you: every day you wake up, you hit the reset button. All right. What happens is a lot of us, we hold on to so many stories. If I ask you who you are, you're gonna tell me a story. Who you are is who you are right now. And the thing is, anything that, yes, you hear it all the time, it sounds cliche. Anything you put your mind to it, you can do it. The difference is, are you disciplined enough to do it? Are you willing to put the work and are willing to be disciplined to do it? So I just want to encourage everybody on here, if you're listening, when you hear this, when you watch this, right, you have to realize whatever story that you hold on to, whatever happened, whatever you feel is holding you back, whatever is getting in that path, right, that is just your story. You have the chance right now to change that. And that right there is remaining present, remaining who you are, being blessed, being grateful for everything you have, and moving forward and starting a plan to get there.
Indeed, indeed. And family, where can people reach you at? If you have a website, your social media, if you have a community text message app?
Yeah, for sure, man. So, of course, follow me. This is my personal page, Byron S at Byron S Sellers. Follow all things mobile home elite investors. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook at mobile home elite investors, on all channels, website, mobilehomeeliteinvestors.com. And literally everything you need, anything you go to at Mobile Home Elite Investors, you'll see the link that'll have everything from our educational videos, to our community, everything you need to access all things manufactured homes.
All right, family. Well, that's it, brother. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your wisdom as well. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for all that you've come with. Best of luck in your future endeavors. And hopefully we can get a part 2 later on sometime in the near future. Oh, and also you need to come out with a book yourself, brother.
I got you.
Right? So, I mean, that's another way of educating the people. Yeah. And that's another way of telling the people about mobile homes as well. It's through literacy, it's through books as well. So, I mean, when you're ready, hopefully we can work on something together, collaborate, right? Because it's collaboration over competition any day. So let me know when you're ready. I'm happy to collaborate with you on that. Okay. And again, thank you for all that you do. Peace. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom, shalom. Hutep, Islam, Alafia. Peace.
Peace.